Hello brothers and sisters, welcome to another episode here on Dangerous African Confessions HD. In this episode, we have the continuation of the mind-boggling confession from our brother, where he talked about the church elder who is also his boss for him involved in money rituals. This confession is something based on a conversation we had with this our brother, where he shared with us a lot of secrets into the way people do struggle before they get money in the dark kingdom. I must say that this message reveals the need to wait for your own appointed time to make it in this life. Because the things that people are going through all in the name of wanting to be counted among the affluent in the society. They do this with no regard of the consequences. Only for them to regret it most of the time, when it catches up to them. Without taking much of your precious time, let us go and hear for ourselves what this confession is all about. Before we go on, if you're new here, please do us this favor and subscribe to the channel for US, and please do share and like our videos.
After I said that, I noticed some smiles on his face. We talked also about my vision. He wanted to know what I would do if I had money, as of the time he was talking to me. When he realized I didn't even have any good plans for myself, he told me not to worry. He will start teaching me more about his line of business, and how to run it. Little did I know that all the conversations that he was having with me were just a preparation and wanting to know my level of maturity. So that if maybe he eventually opened up to me, I would not turn out to spoil his image. At this point, I had been sending my younger brother some money as well as the woman, so that they will be okay back home. I also visited them a couple of times, so that I would know how much they are faring for myself. My boss always would tell his wife to watch out for the next billionaire whenever I would be with them, either at home or maybe work. He says that, and the wife will always bring in the fact that I deserve that, because of the way I'm serious about work. She will always say that she will be happy to see me climb that ladder to the top. One day, my boss told me that he was traveling, and he will return the next day. So I should get ready, because when he comes, his next trip, he will be going with me. That trip was the day my life changed completely. And I was never the same person I used to be, coming from my hometown to hustle in the city. One funny thing is that I am not someone that do dream a lot. But that very day that he had that conversation with me, I slept that evening and I had a dream. And in that dream, there was this woman who appeared to be someone that I knew. And this woman met us in the dream. What I mean by us is that it was more like I was also working with someone that I didn't really know much about. But for some reason, I had given my trust to him and I was following him. It looked like I was lost in the dream, and this man said that he was taking me home. But then, on our way, we met the woman that I was saying. She looked like I know her but couldn't remember exactly who she was. She called me and I went to her. And she told me in the dream that I should get back and do not follow the man, because it won't end well with me. Just after she had finished telling me that, the man called me and asked me to hurry up. I was confused and didn't know what to do. That was when I woke up from the sleep. Honestly, the whole thing didn't make sense to me until I had already gone deep into it, that I remembered the dream I had. It was more like someone that really cared for me, that was calling me to not follow the man. But then, because I am not someone who was used to dreams and all that, so I couldn't make any meaning of it. That was how I missed the chance of not mingling myself in this. So, my boss returned from where he had gone to, and then told me to prepare because we were going to embark on a journey the following weekend. So the day came and we traveled in his car. On our way, he talked to me mainly about how much he wants me to succeed in this life. Because according to him, he has come to love me just like his own blood. And for that reason, he was ready to do anything for me to make it. We did spend not less than 8 hours on this journey. Honestly, the more we went, the more I was getting confused about exactly where we were going. And when I asked, he would be like, the journey to get money is not a small task. We reached our destination around 2 p.m. Meanwhile, we left home around 5 to 6 a.m. in the morning. So when we got to the place, we left our car in the parking park in the town that we had gone to. And my boss told me that we were going to walk about 5 to 10 minutes before we get to our destination. So we walked out of the town, to this place where there was only mud house there. There were 3 sets of mud buildings on that compound. But there was this structure like a Chinese church at the center of the compound. Even though there were mud houses, except that of the temple, the place looked clean and nicely decorated. One lady came to meet us and gave us a place to sit and relax, as we wait for whoever was going to receive us. At this point, I asked my boss what they do over there. He told me that his source of income and wealth is from that place. I asked what he meant by that. He told me that there were directions that the spiritual leader over there gave him, and when he followed them keenly, he became who I see him to be. Some minutes into our conversation, an old man came and referenced him as my son, welcome. He got down and bowed to the man. I did same, even though I didn't know what it meant. He asked him if I was the son that he was talking about. And my boss told him that, yes indeed I am his trusted servant, that he wished I would be like him. If not for that day, I never knew that my boss trusted me more than any of his workers. I shed tears when I heard him say that about me. So, the spiritual man asked me why I was shedding tears. I told him that the words that my boss used for me is what is bringing those tears to me. He smiled and told me that I shouldn't worry. Because it was because of me being a good servant to my boss, that is why he himself has even agreed to help me in the first place. So, I also being naive told the man that, if my boss has seen me to be wealthy of whatever it is that he knows, I am also ready to do whatever I will be asked to do. He tapped me on my shoulder and told me that he likes my spirit. So he told one of his servants to come and take our bags into one of the rooms that they have prepared for us. So, they took our bags into the room and he told us that we can also go and rest. Because things that they were going to do for me will begin in the night. So, we went inside and we rested for a while. My boss after some hours of sleeping woke me up and told me that we should go to the town and get something to eat. So, we did just that. So, that evening, the man took his time to teach me a lot about spirituality. How people do get their money. And how some people's favors are taken from them and given to others. When it was almost time to start, he told me that in everything there are some sacrifices that one must pay in order to make whatever he or she is looking for a reality. So, he asked if I was ready to do whatever would be asked of me. Not knowing what that question entails, I said yes. He then proceeded to start conjuring some things in my presence. I had never seen with my naked eyes money being made to manifest physical before. He did some few of that and he told me that he was willing to let me go back as a millionaire. I was very happy. At least I would be able to put a smile on this woman who took us in when we had no one to look after us. And then make my younger brother enjoy everything he lost growing up. A lot of things were done that very night. But then I don't want to go much into it. Because there is one particular thing that I want to talk about. And that is the agreement and the rules that was given to me. By morning, almost all the necessary things that needed to be done had been done and it was left with just the rules governing whatever that I was going to inherit from the spirit realm. But before then, my boss also renewed his covenant with the energies that the man is working with. For his own, I really cannot go much into it. Because most of it were done indoors for him. When his own had been completed, I was given a seedling plant. And I was told to plant the 2 plants that were given to me in a house that I would get for myself. So, the agreement was that I would nurse in my boss's house until I moved to my own house. Then I can plant it completely there. The question is that, why was the need for me to plant that tree? The whole thing was for me to nourish the tree with blood. And the more the tree blossoms, the more my wealth. That was the dangerous aspect of this whole thing that I had found myself. That is why I feel bad for having this much money. When I see girls rushing for men who do have enough money without thinking of the consequences, I feel really sorry for them. Because they only think of having or enjoying the very little moment they have with the men. Because what I was sacrificing for the tree was the innocent girls that I do come across in my life. The way it was done for me was not for people to see me doing any physical sacrifices. When I take you to bed and enjoy you, Actually, it is not me doing you, but the spirit that I had consulted for money is the one feeding on your blood as I am sleeping with you. That way, my tree will be growing so beautifully. And when the tree is blossoming, the more my money will be plenty. And then you, the lady that the blood is sucked from you spiritually, have just about 3 to 6 months to live on this earth. And the time that I do this ritual is always on my birthday. Exactly the day that I was born is when this ritual must happen. And I have been doing this ritual for almost about 8 to 9 years now. For money, I do have it in abundance. But the reason why I'm saying this to you is not for anyone to have pity on me. I know what I have gotten myself involved with. But then, the little that I know deep within my heart to do is to warn the young girls who are always chasing these guys and men for money to be very careful. Because if you do not take care, you might be exchanging your life with the money that will be given to you by these men. I am not saying anyone that do have money for it through this means. But then, how can you be sure the person that you are giving yourself to because of money is not part of this group of people? I decide to talk about my life and not about anyone. But remember, I told you about my boss being a church elder. So if you want to use that to judge him, he will appear to you as a saint. But then, at the end of the day, the person you see as a saint will be the very person that will be taking your soul to the afterlife. Please let us be careful how we live our lives. Thank you, brother, for having me.
Kindly hit the notification bell so you will be the first to get notification to our videos when we upload. Don't forget to please subscribe, share and like our videos. Kindly hit the notification bell so you will be the first to get notification to our videos when we upload. Like I always say, these are not just stories for story's sake. They are meant for us not to make these mistakes our brothers and sisters are making. That's why we share these stories with you. After listening to this story, I will say that life indeed is something that no one can predict. And you can't even seem to understand what life is all about. I honestly wish the youth of these days will listen to some of the important lessons in these stories that we share. You see, I will say that having ambitions in life is all good. And wanting to go the extra mile for the loved ones in our lives is also good. But always have it at the back of your mind that you will not let that ambition destroy you. The world indeed is heading to a place where morals are lost in our living. And the only thing that matters to us more is the love for money. I am not saying don't love money. But don't be in a dangerous or difficult position or situation, all because of money. Because when it happens that way, always the results, or the decisions that we take, most at times are flawed. And it goes a long way to turn and then come back to hurt us. When you have a dream or ambition, work towards it gradually, till you become master of your vision. I just hope that we honestly take the important lessons from these stories to better our lives and decisions. Stay blessed and be safe. Thanks for being a part of this growing family. Kindly share your thought with us in the comment section below. And if you are new here, please subscribe, like and share.